It doesn't look too good. Damn it. Something kind of shook. I will figure it out. Welcome back to my channel where we relish in our crafts. Today's upcycle project is going to be this beautiful Iranian tablecloth. I intend to upcycle it to be wearable art in the form of a kaftan. Now, this was supposed to be easy. This was supposed to be one of those quick projects. And now it's not going to be. It's going to take me a while to complete it, not because of this piece of fabric, but because of this piece of fabric. I was just going to merge another piece of fabric to the back of this, right? To make up for the rectangular shape that is a kaftan. It's literally just two rectangles stitched together. But I cannot find the bedsheet that I had planned to use for this project. I can't find it. So must have gotten lost in the shuffle somewhere, and I'm sure I will come across it on a different day when I don't need it, okay? I have these size large Gap pants that I think will complement this tablecloth well. I'm going to spend the rest of the day, possibly most of tomorrow as well, taking all the stitches out so that I can salvage as much fabric as I can from these pants. And then once I do that, I will have to piece it together to try to create a rectangular piece that will make up the back of this kaftan. Now, if you have a large piece of fabric, this should be a lot easier for you. There's so many different possibilities, okay? I wanted to make one from scratch to try to show how easy it could be. Have I ever done this before? Absolutely not. Are we going to figure it out? Absolutely. So I need to get started on my solution of utilizing these pants for the backside of this beautiful kaftan. So before I go any further with planning, I need to tackle that. So let me get started on that. I have successfully taken out the stitches of these pants. I went ahead and pressed the fabric so that it's easier for me to plainly see the pattern and sew it together. So that's the next part. I'm going to merge both of these pieces straight down here, and then I think I'm going to take a ruler and make a straight line cutting off this part. Okay, and just to get a clear rectangular piece, I'm pretty sure the back or front panel of pants is larger than the other. So you have two pieces that are the equal size, and then the other two pieces of the pant legs are smaller. So this piece, which I have a second one of, is significantly smaller than these pieces. So I don't know how this is going to work out, but like I said, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. So I might, okay, for sure, I'm going to sew these two pieces together, okay? And then I will take another pant leg piece, lay it across and sew it, maybe not in a straight line so that I can use more of this. Girl, I don't know, okay? I'm going to sew these two and then worry about sewing on the other two after. I'm not sure if I want to attach a third one right next to it, right? Because then this could be like, if we think about it as the center back part of the kaftan, right? This is plenty wide enough, okay? Now, it's not long enough. So should I then take this and sew it across the bottom for length? It doesn't look too good. Damn it. And it's still too short. So I don't know if by me sewing the panels like this in just 4 horizontal pieces, if I get the most out of this fabric. So we will see, okay? And like I said, we will figure it out, okay? I will figure it out. I will figure something out, even if I have to source a different type of fabric to get the length and width that I need, okay? But for now, I put a lot of effort into taking the stitches out, pressing it, and now I'm just going to sew it together and see what comes out. So I'll go ahead and sew it, and then I will show you what it's looking like after. Let me get started on that. Okay, I've pieced together the pant leg pieces and I decided to stitch vertically 3 of the pant legs. I felt like that was wide enough. And then I stitched a pant leg at the bottom to lengthen the piece. And this is where I'm at. So very much patchwork. So this will be the back of my kaftan. Something like this, right? Okay, I roughly pinned it together. I'm scared about how I'm going to get this off. I pinned straight down on this side, merged the edge of the fabrics together. I mean, I just laid it flat. I didn't really take too much time on it. So I'm leaning towards more a straight down seam and I need to center the image better. But this is how it's going. This is the idea. I think that I might merge the tablecloth in with itself a little bit more because it is so wide. So just kind of create a seam where it's a little closer together because that's enough of a flare out. Oh, absolutely. Like that's enough of a flare out. I'm kind of shook that the pants rendered this much of a panel. And this is exactly what I was thinking. So kind of high hopes right now. It's coming together really well. I'm just going to sleep on it right now and commit to the chopping of the tablecloth tomorrow and go from there. Okay. Okay, so I've taken in the sides of the tablecloth, right? I haven't cut anything yet. I've pinned it in some. So I tried my best to work with the pattern, and this is what I'm happy with right now. With what I cut off, I will figure out how it is that I'm going to allocate that material. And this will be the top. So this will also get cut off to create a neckline. So I'll also have a little bit of fabric here that I might add to the sides here of the bottom. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and commit to cutting off those panels, get the outer circles sewed on to the center here, and go from there. It's easier for me to work step by step, and I have to just commit to the steps. I can't take too long troubleshooting things or it'll just take too long. Okay. So I'm going to commit, I'm going to cut, and then I'm going to sew things down, and then I will follow up with where I am at. Once I have those remnants in my hands, I'll be one step closer to my next step. Okay, so right now this raw edge, right, because I just cut straight up, is hanging out here, and I can use a piece of the fabric I cut off to kind of just create a little gap filler here. Now this will have to just stay straight. I can just stitch a hem there. But I think that kind of gives it a more complete look for the bottom of this kaftan. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Right, so this is the before with the raw edge here of where I cut through to remove these panels. Now this is what it looks like when I add a piece here to fill it in and then just kind of straighten it off, right? So I'm going to do the exact same thing to this side. I quite like how that looks, rather than having it kind of just this one little piece here in the front. And this is the straight seam, right, where I brought in the outer edge to meet more centered part of the tablecloth. And this is where I added that panel. I just sewed up into that same seam, merged it up here as well, and created a hem. And I opted to not, I was thinking I was going to sew this down as well, but then I opted not to. So it kind of has movement here, and it looks like this border continues on. So, it just happened to work out and look good. So I'm going to do the same with this side. and the bottom will be done of the front. And then I'll work on the neck part. Okay, here is what it's looking like. I really love the bottom this way. It looks a lot better, I think. Now I've tried to center the imagery as best as I could. However, it is a tablecloth. It has been stretched. It has been washed. It is not perfect. And I'm not here for that. But, you know, in case you notice it, that is what's going on there. Now for the neckline, I'm going to go for a straight line. Now I have to merge the back fabric panel, and I'm thinking that I will finish my straight hem here on the collar. I'm going to then merge my back piece of fabric that I created to here, the shoulder. And then I'll try it on and go from there. I'll decide where I want to start, like the armhole, like the bottom, and then sew it together on the sides. But I can't do that until I finish the neckline and then merge the fabric with the shoulder here. After this step is completed and I decide where it is that I'm going to sew along the sides, I can start thinking about whether or not I'm going to add some type of sleeve. I mean, I don't have that much fabric left, so we'll see how that goes. But I just wanted to show you that I'm much happier with the bottom this way. This is where I'm at, and I'm very happy with it. I finished the hemline on the collar here. I'm very happy with this very simple opening. I pinned the fabric onto just here, right? And I'm just looking at how it's laying, and I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, I am going to stitch it down the side, right? That's just how it's going to close. Now, this fabric on the back is kind of just naturally hanging over my shoulders. So, I'm thinking I'm going to sew it there up to here. Boom. I'm okay with that. I like that. And then I will close it down the side a little further down. Happy accidents. So I'm just going to commit. I'm going to commit to this idea and just get it done. Now, the bottom is a little bit shorter than the front. I'm okay with that. However, I do have some scraps, very small amount, that I could create a border on the bottom of it. So I'm going to go ahead and just sew a straight line across here. I'm going to then merge them again just like this and pin this flap here to the front fabric, seal it up to where it's falling evenly right here. Then try it on again and go from there. Okay, I have attached both fabrics at the shoulder, okay? So I finished the hemline up top and here and on the shoulder. Up to this point, like I said I would. I'm very happy with that at the moment. Now, what I need to do to complete it is sew down the bottom and then make the decision about the bottom border if I am going to add fabric. As you could see with my decision to add this corner panel here, right, because it cut off here, I kind of straightened it out, trying to make a rectangle as best as I could. Even though it still looks very round, I'll stitch it from this point down. I might leave, you know, like a little V shape here. That's typically how I see kaftans usually have like a small opening at the bottom for movement. Yeah, so I might do that instead of just all the way down. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I'll share with you if I decide to add some fabric to the bottom, maybe. I haven't actually seen how much I have left. Like I said, I've never done this before. It was supposed to be easy. It took some work and creativity to get to this part, but I'm very happy with it. I think typically that happens, you know, when you make something yourself. I tend to be happy with it, like, hey, I did this. So I'm going to go ahead, close up the sides, and then try it back on, see how it's going, see how it's laying, if I'm still happy with it, and then worry about the bottom. So it's still a raw hem because I haven't decided if I'm going to add something to it or not. We'll see. There's still time. I like to end my videos with some close-up shots of my project. But first, I just want to thank you real quick for watching the video, especially if you watched from the beginning to the end. If I seemed a little low energy this video, that's because I was. When I went out to thrift some stuff for my haul video, I ended up bringing home something that made me so terribly sick, and I took enough medicine to get the reveal shots done, but I'm glad it's over with and I could rest for a bit. I hope you'll let me know what you think about it. I really love it. It's definitely up my style alley. Now, like I said, if you have just a solid piece of fabric, it's going to be so much easier for you to get it done rather than the route that I took. But you know, it's well within my scope of upcycling. I left this one reveal as a surprise at the end. And I did end up adding a piece of tapestry that also made in Iran, but it's much smaller. And I also did add the remnants from the tablecloth to the bottom. I think it really brought it together. So I'm very happy with the overall look of it. So I'm going to get a couple close-up shots. Thank you so much for being here and interacting with my video. It really does give me the boost of confidence that I need to keep going and pushing forward. Thank you so much for watching. I love you for that. And until my next video, I'll see you next time. Bye.